it's me, Renee. I'm back. As you can see, this is a recommendation video for romance books that works for eurovisionathon. So you want romance books set in different places in that participate in UK or in the eurovisionathon, or written by those authors. Also, for some reason, I managed to forget one important book. So give me a little moment there. And yeah, I'm going to do that one too. And then we're ready. So yeah, why not start with those books? And this was also, firstly, I'm just going to mention that, well, except some of these, I have some from Norway, some from, and I have some from Denmark. I have one for Sweden. Other than that, most of these are kind of the usual suspects countries: France, Italy, and the UK. I mean, those are kind of very easy to find. Most of these are books I have read myself. Some of them are books I have not read myself, but I want to read. But most of them I have read myself. And yeah, I have, like, myself, while trying to figure out a TBR for this Eurovision fun. Like, I've been trying to find some romance books for not the usual suspects: England, Italy, Greece, Spain, France. But it's quite difficult, really, sadly. I mean, most of the books that are romance centric are set in those places. So, sadly, that's how it is. There are some books where the main character travels around, so that's, in those ways, it's easier. But most of the time, they travel around Italy or like the usual suspects places. So, yeah, that's sadly how it is. Hopefully, we'll get more authors to write more about different places in the future, because, at least for me, I quite like to travel via books. And I feel like, yeah, I mean, at least in Norway, at least also I would say, like, in Europe, a lot of people go around traveling. So, like, why would you not have more authors who also travel and then write based upon their travels that are not those usual suspects? I mean, you have other interesting places than those places. Like, you could write about Malta, you could write about Cyprus, you could write about Turkey. I mean, there's lots of beautiful places where we can flirt and have romance. So yeah, and yeah, that was me babbling a bit. Let's get to the books, and there are quite a lot of books. So yeah, as said during the other video, because I've been doing several genre recommendation-based videos. As said during the other one, that it was going to be a short video, and then I end up being 15 minutes. So, though it was 15 minutes, it's might tell the end of short. Usually I do like half an hour videos, but I thought generally that it was going to be a 5-minute video, and then it went on. So yeah, let's for real get to the books. First, we have Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is a fantasy romantasy, though I would say, like, yeah, it is romantasy, though how do you define those kinds of stuff? It's historical, and it's, yeah, historical, and there's fairies, and there's romance, and this is the first in companion series. It is set in England. It has some French characters, I believe, yeah, but mainly it's, yeah, mainly England focused, and Ireland, like, I don't remember, but yeah. And also the main character is autism, autism written, like, it's kind of quite autism, like, not on page of autism, but you could like see autism aspects of the main character. And I also heard recently that the author Olivia Atwater has been diagnosed with autism, so that was kind of like she based it on herself, and she has autism. So yeah, if you want to read some autism books for Autism Awareness Month in April, this is a great way to do that, and also do the Eurovision fun, and also just in general an amazing book all over. I love it so much. Read it now 2 years ago, and yeah, love it so much. It's part of a companion series. I have not read the other books, but it's a companion series, so I'm not sure I will. Might like It's not like we have to with those. So yeah. Then we have Love is for Losers by Vibeke Bruggemann. This is a German author, but the story is set in England, so you can use either Germany or England, up to you. And it's very, very funny. I would say honestly it's kind of like more like 80% contemporary and like 20% romance, because it's romance in there, but it's not like mainly that, but it has romance aspects to it, so I'm including it here in this video. And yeah, it's also sapphic, and yeah, very, very funny story. Highly recommend it. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it's, well, might not have known, it's diary form, so it's like uh, Monday, 10th of April, blah blah blah. So yeah, then we have sorry, the Ninne books, or this one being Ninne Stag Book 3. I plan to read the second book this time because I've got it from the library. It's kind of been described as Bridget Jones, but just set in Denmark, because it's a journalist who's going for life, kind of the same kind of style. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this she is available in English. So yeah, and yeah, it's contemporary romance. Well, contemporary. It was written and published like 2008, 2007, so it's not the most recent contemporary, but it's contemporary-ish. I won't say it's historical, but yeah, it doesn't talk about Brexit or Trump. So I suppose that's kind of a nice way to not read about the recent hullabaloo in the world. But yeah, if you want to read something from Denmark that's funny, pick up this series, the trilogy. Sorry. Then we have Ingrid Winter's series. This is the one in Norwegian because it's a Norwegian series. It is a quartet, so 4 books. I don't know if it's going to be a 5th book, because first it was a trilogy, and then some years after a 4th book came. I feel like you can have a 5th book. I don't really feel like you need it, but it's a possibility for it. But yeah, this again, it's kind of like, it's not directly romance, because it's about the main character who has a husband and a family, so it's more like, yeah, like spicing up your relationship while you've been married for a long time and whatnot. It's kind of as like some arguing between your husband, but it's not like finding love. It's more like keeping love, more in a way, maybe. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, it's quite funny. It's set in Stavanger, which a lot of books aren't really set in there, like at least like by Norwegian authors. Stavanger is the the city where I live closest to. Well, I live in another city, but I live like the big city that I live close to. It's the city where you have the oil workers, so it's a lot of international people. It has a university there, and there's also a nature base, so it's a big city. And yeah, it's quite fun to like read a book like set there. And yeah, the main character works in university, so it's like her and her students who don't really notice stuff, who don't really like the work, and like and then it's her colleagues in the university, and it's kind of like based around that. And yeah, it's very delightful. I would quite recommend it. I mean, yeah, it's based around like a woman in her 40s, so I suppose it's probably more interesting if you're yourself in your 40s, or like yourself have a husband and a kid. But I will say, like, for me, I don't have a husband or a wife. I don't have a partner at all. I don't have kids. I still very much enjoy this. So, like, there is some universality about it. So, yeah. Then we have more like a more, what else to think about? A more standard, like, uh, probably all you heard about. Lucy Diamond and an Italian Affair. So this is Lucy Diamond. It's a British author. This book sets, well, some part of it is set in Italy, and it's about these three people. One of them being the Italian, sorry, just forgetting stuff, Italian teacher, because there's like two of them go to a course to learn Italian, and then so you follow both two of the students, but also one of the the Italian teacher who's British, but yeah, she teaches them Italian, and yeah, it's easily read, funny, uh, bit dramatic, but like mostly it's kind of like a cheesy, fun read, really. So if you want something cheesy fun for your reader fun, pick up this book. Then we have Shipwrecked by Olivia Jade. This works for Sweden because the author is American, but she lives now in Sweden. And one of the characters here, her, uh, Maria, she's Swedish. Part of this book takes place in Sweden. There's also some dialogue in Sweden, in Swedish. So yeah, if you want some fun book about Sweden or set around Sweden, pick up this book. I quite enjoyed it. It's a companion book, but I would say you don't really need. It's a very much companion book. I read the first book in this series. I did not read the second book, and I didn't really feel like I lost anything by not reading the second book. So yeah, for Sweden, this book very recommended. You know what? Give me a moment. Need some water. So yep. Then next we have Tilly in Technicolor by Macy Eddings. So the author is American, but this book it's YA book, and it's a book taking place during summer where the two characters, because it's two main characters, you have Macy and you have Oliver. So it starts with Tilly. It's Tilly in Technicolor, not Macy in Technicolor, but yeah, it starts with Tilly going to London, and she meets her sister there. So like the first part of it is in London, and the last part is in London. But like between that, they go traveling around Europe. They go to Denmark, they go to France, go to Spain, they go to Netherlands. I believe they go to Sweden. They don't go to Norway, but yeah, they go to Sweden, Denmark, so lots of places. Um, yeah, I think they also go to Russia, though that doesn't really matter because they don't aren't in eurovisionathon. But yeah, goes to lots of places. Uh, and Tilly, she has ADHD. Oliver has autism, and it's a romance between those two. Though it's also like a story of them growing up. And I would say like it's called Tilly in Technicolor. You Their point of view is from both characters, but I would say maybe Tilly's a bit more of main character. She's like 90% the main character. Well, sorry, 70% the main character, and then Oliver is the other percent. But yeah, and yeah, I read this last year. Loved it very very much. It's a very nice book. It's a great just to see a new divergent romance between two new divergent people, and it's just yeah, I loved it in so many ways, and yeah, highly recommend it. And yeah, you can use it for lots of places because yeah, it involves lots of places. Then we have the Cassandra complex, which uh, is again not directly a romance, but it has romance aspects to it, and yeah, I decided to use it in this video. So yeah, it's a time travel ish story, but it's kind of like a Groundhog Day story more than anything else. But yeah, Groundhog Day time travel ish story. It's the main character has autism, though she doesn't really realize it before the end of the book, but she does have it. And yeah, it's set in England, but it is a retelling, reimagining of a Greek myth, like Cassandra myth. So you could use it as like for Greece because Greek mythology. Because you could use it for that. But other than that, it's set just in England. I don't think there's any different characters from places. Not that I remember. No. So yeah, either England or Greece. And though there's quite a lot of there's quite a lot of references to Greek mythology. So yeah, definitely use it for Greece if you want. And yeah, it's just a very, very good story book. I loved it. Read it last year. Amazing book. It's also one of Reese Witherspoon's book of the month. So if you like her, yeah. And then we have Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. This is a YA romance. It's Sophie Gonzalez is an Australian author. Australia just also contribute. Well, do also participate this last like 10 years now or 8 years, quite a few years now. So yeah, a book for Australia here. Then we have Queens of Geek by Jen Wild, also Australian author. This one's set in the US, but it's Australian author. So yeah, and there's romance aspects and also dramatic aspects, but yeah, it's also Queens of Geek, so it's set at a convention, so that's quite fun there, really. A quick book. So yeah. Then sorry, we have A Caribbean Heiress in Paris by Adriana Herrera. This is set both in London but also in Paris. Like a lot of it's set in Paris, so you can use France or London if you want, or London as England. So yeah, historical historical romance slash there's a bit of a mystery in there as well. And yeah, very very good book. Love it so much. So if you want some diversity in it, in your readathon, because the main character, well, all main characters, yeah, main character, yeah, we'll say main character, is from the Dominican Republic. So and yeah, so you have some representation from that part of it, really. So yeah, and then we have Me Coughing. Yeah, Things a Bright Girl Can Do by Sally Nichols. Yes, again recommending this book because it's just so good. This one is a YA suffragette book, though it does have like one sex scene in it. But like I would say, you could still say it's YA, even though it has sex in it. But I'm just kind of mentioning it. It has sex in it. That's it's not graphic, but it's semi-graphic maybe, semi-graphic. So yeah, trigger warned. But yeah, it's a suffragette book, so it takes place during 1910s. So it's both about like getting the girl right for to vote for women in the UK, but it's also about like lead up to the First World War. It's set through different point of views. There's two main characters, but there's also a character that's by main like there's two characters where you see the point of view from, but there's a third character that's kind of important you don't get the point of view from. Do you? Oh, yeah, sorry, there's three main characters. I was just wrong there. Yeah, so one of them is rich, one of them is middle class, and one of them is working class. So you have the different classes. Two of them are Sapphic, so you have that aspect. And yeah, one of them is a Quaker, so she's anti-war. So there's lots of things going on in this book, and it just yeah deserves to be read all the time. I feel like. And yeah, for this one, it's the UK and Ireland. No, I would say it's just England. Does any of it take place in France? I think it's mainly in. Maybe there's a scene during the war. Yeah, okay, it's either UK or France. It's one of those two. Yeah. Then we have Geek Girl by Holly Smale. Talked about this one very much before. All the time. It's very, very good. It's funny. There's romance in it, but I would say maybe more contemporary than romance. Also, the newest version has a preface uh, because the main character Harriet has autism. It's just not on page in this version, but just just does have it. And yeah, and also yeah, it's also coming to Netflix as a TV series, I believe in the fall, sometime this year. There was rumors it was going to come in March, but then it didn't happen. But yeah, it's in film, so we know it's coming, unless something huge happens with Netflix. Yeah. And then this book, I read it like 5, 6 years ago, a while ago now. So I don't remember that much, but I remember liking it. I believe this is the first in a duology. But anyway, just for like the title, I'm just going to recommend it just because of the title. Title is How to Keep a Boy as a Pet. It's about first love, crushes, flirting, that kinds of stuff. So it's kind of early YA. It's set in the UK, and yeah. Then we have Pride and Prejudice in a City by Rachel Lippincott. Well, this is both historical and time travel, but also sapphic romance. And yeah, I read it this January. Loved it so much. And yeah, it works for the UK. It's yeah, they talk about France, but it's just the UK. That's kind of mentioned in this one. Also US, but yeah, UK. Sorry. Then we have a book for Ireland, which is also participating. Honey and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jagidar. So this is Bengali Irish teens who fake date, and yeah, I feel like this has been around BookTube, so I feel like this is not that unknown. So yeah. And then we have Stonebroke Heiress by Daniel Owen Jones. We talked about this one before, but in case maybe you're new to my channel, so yeah, hey, check out this book. It's very funny. Like when I read it, I like laughed so much I lost my breath. So yeah, you will love it so much. It's like reverse rags to riches because she's rich and then she loses her money and then she has to like be working girl and those kinds of stuff. Well, not working girl, like she has to have a normal job and do things herself and yeah. It's kind of Legally Blonde, but like not, but like kind of ish that way. And yeah, and it's set in Manchester, Liverpool. Sorry, Liverpool. So it's kind of fun to like have a book not set in London. So yeah. And then we have Our Time Is Now. But sorry, this time. What is it called in English again? This Norwegian version. Yeah, This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousins. This one came out a few years ago now. I heard in Norwegian, as you see. It's actually also coming out this year as a movie, so looking forward to that. And yeah, this it's kind of like a Richard Curtis, but in book form because yeah, kind of very much gives me those vibes. It's funny, great characters, but also great love story. Kind of a bit like are we meant to be or can we be together? And yeah, it's just peak those kinds of stuff. Then we have some books I have not read, but maybe I'll read some of these for this year myself. I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna read myself so yet. That's why I'm making a recommendation video before I do my own TBR. But yeah, we have One Summer in Sicily by Nancy Barone. So yeah, book that takes place in Sicily, and yeah, it's like a woman who goes to visit her husband, and turns out her husband is having an affair, so she has to like yeah, so she gets an affair herself, and things happen, and she's like a cheesy fun book. And then we have A Most Intriguing Lady by Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York. She came up with this book last year, and I thought, you know what, that sounds fun. Let me check it out myself. So I got it. And then last, this this is a bit mean, but I want to show it to you. So, and I like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but I think people might watch this who aren't from the UK, who are from Sweden, from Norway, whatnot, in case if you're one of those places, because this book is not available in English right at this moment. So that's a bit mean, but yeah. It is Silkesøstre by Sara Medberg. So this is a Finnish author, and yeah, so it's a historical book that takes place both in Finland but also in Sweden, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of like Bridgerton, but like for Nordic countries. And I read this one a few years ago now, and I quite like it. It's cheesy, but cheesy fun. There's some mystery, there's some relations to the French Revolution and whatnot, and yeah, I quite like it. But yeah, I just checked today. It doesn't seem like it's available in English. Hopefully, it happens in the future, but right now, no. Right now, it's available in Norwegian, Swedish, Finnish, I believe maybe Polish. I saw like some countries from like uh, um, languages is available in, but yeah, not the Union Jack, sadly. But yeah, and yeah, that's this video for like romances. And yeah, if you have any romances you want to suggest, please do that in the comments. If not, you can post a heart in the comments. And I'll see you soon for the next recommendation video. Because yeah, I'm gonna be doing, yeah, I think at least 2 more, maybe 3 more. I'm not quite sure. So yeah, bye.